But we continue with more stunning designs. Now, I know that you were saying your godfather was actually a silversmith.
He's a silversmith, and also he's a beater as well.
Now, one of the things with the design is that I have to admit, in this day and age, a lot of companies are finding that the younger folk are moving from the cities or moving to the cities and moving away. And the one thing I know about Chaco Canyon is that's literally the exact opposite, is that the younger folk are getting involved in the range itself, getting involved in the making of the jewellery. And so that's why I say it's almost like the hands of time have stopped with the design and making sure that everyone stays true to the art form. Oh
yes, and especially with the Zuni tribe and with Navajo Nation tribe as well. They have schools for the communities, especially for their kids, the younger kids, to learn this, this artwork. And so from what I was told is that you start from the bottom, which is you help the main master silversmith. You start with the little stars, the little silver droppings in the earrings, and because they're the hardest part first. You start with the hardest part, then you end with the easy part. But then you have to learn with your eyes. They say you sit and learn, you be quiet, and you take in all what the silversmiths has to say. And so that's how they learn in the first place. When I went to the trading post out in Milan, in Grants, New Mexico, where a lot of this jewelry comes from, one of the artisans that I spoke to, he was a former bull rider, and so he was starting to learn how to silversmith, and so that's where he's starting off first, and so that's how they learn.
Now, I've just been passed, just so you know, there is a matching ring that will follow this in a few moments. So if you're already purchasing and you're getting in on the earrings right now, the item number for this ring is going to be featuring on the bottom of the screen. This is where there's a real connection. Now, I've had many, many years the chance to be able to see so many beautiful designs, so many looks from around the world. Of course, Italy known for their gold work, but when it comes to that southwestern theme, there is nothing like the designs that we're seeing here. And I've met, a lot of people try to recreate it. A lot of people try to mimic or replicate what has been done. These designs and these looks is what everybody else is trying to recreate.
Mm-hmm. But when you have a piece of native jewelry, first of all, it'll come with a certificate of authenticity, knowing that you're getting genuine Native American silversmith work. And especially the second is that actual person made this, not a big mass manufacturing person. And the artisan here for the earrings is Loretta Smith. The ring there that you have is from Roberta Begay, and that dream catcher that was on before was Doreen Jake.
See, and that is the gorgeous connection that we have when it comes, often when it comes to the jewelry, right? We often are not familiar. It looks stunning, it looks amazing. We have the chance to be able to purchase it and adorn ourselves with jewelry. But by watching this show, by listening to Jennifer, not only do you get the insight behind the artisan, but we also find out behind each and every piece. If you want to take advantage of these VIP financing here during the show, very simple to do. All you need to do is go ahead and apply for your HSN card. You can do either call in or you can go ahead online and find that. If you qualify, there's no annual fee, there's all sorts of benefits, but in this hour, if the item is over $200, you're actually going to be spreading those payments over 9 months. Beautiful styles, amazing looks, all genuine, authentic, the real thing, and the chance to be able to add to your collection. And the thing is that you may very much be going ahead and creating your very first collection.